Alright. We make our way through the town after dark. It's a little past 8. The station is at its most crowded hour, and Saber and I stare at the map of the town.
We have checked most of the main buildings around this area. Is there anywhere else we can go?
Let's see. There's a factory a little further out from here. We should probably go check it out since people gather there. Not that factories are exactly Shinji's style. We do make conversation now, but it's still hard for me to look Saber in the eye. I think our conversation from earlier is still stuck in my head. Saber's acting like it didn't happen, which bothers me even more. What about you, Saber? Can you sense Ryder's presence?
No, I cannot. I fought her once, so I should be able to sense her.
An odd feeling prickles my skin. Even I can feel the wave of magical energy that washes over us. There's no way Saber can't.
Shiro, I do not believe I need to tell you, but...
I know. They're close, Saber.
No, they're not close enough. But we are most definitely being watched. This wave of magic energy is likely an attempt to provoke us.
If we're being watched, that means they've fallen into our trap. Releasing so much magical energy is an obvious attempt to lure us out. So, is this Ryder? My mind changes gears. The awkwardness between Saber and me earlier disappears.
I will track the source of magical energy. Please be careful, Master.
I nod. The wave of bloodlust I feel is stinging at my skin. The wave of bloodlust I feel stinging at my skin is coming from the direction of the office district as it slowly empties of people. Today of all days, maybe there will be no one working overtime. Most of the lights in the windows of the building, seen as the heart of Shinto, are dark. There aren't many people on the sidewalks, and we have a pretty clear view of the building. I don't see anyone suspicious. If Shinji's anywhere, he'll be up ahead. Maybe in the park we just left? I feel the bloodlust growing more intense. The enemy's nearby. Or more like... A chill runs up my spine. If even I can feel this aura of bloodlust, then we're probably already in enemy territory. Saber, be careful. Something's not right.
You are correct. I do not believe they would attack us with so many others present, but it is difficult to be certain with this foe. It is best to be cautious.
The shit he did at the school.
We both nod in silent agreement and make our way toward the park. It's probably best to ignore the oppressive sense of a knife being pressed to my throat. Shinji and Ryder are nowhere around the office district. If they're going to attack, it's probably going to be somewhere in the park, where they won't be seen, where they won't be anywhere else around.
Shiro!
Saber? I turn towards Saber. She rushes toward me like a bolt of lightning and blocks a blow aimed straight at my head. I look up. A massive building towers overhead. Clinging to the side of that building like some kind of spider is Ryder. What? Her hair is long enough to cover her entire body, her limbs supple and white. The masked woman is indeed our enemy, Ryder. She licks her lips as she stares down at me. The hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. There's no mistaking it. She came spiraling down from the top of the building, aiming to take my head in a sneak attack from a blind spot. Saber lands on the ground. In the time it took her to rush to block Ryder's attack, Saber summoned her armor. Saber, she's...
I will go after her. Please stay here, Shiro.
Huh? Go after her? How? Saber kicks off from the ground. She disappears into the sky with a glint of silvery armor. What? Ryder clinging to the side of the building like that is just absurd enough, but Saber leaping skyward in pursuit of her is just outright ridiculous. No, they're servants. Normal logic doesn't apply here.
Was the past just anime? Is the future just anime? Is the present anime?
Is anime real?
Wait.
Yes.
Wait, it's always been anime?
Always has
Always
been.
has been.
Like Ryder, Saber moves along the side of the building, striking at her with dizzying speed. The two shadows clash and cross against each other. The sight of the two of them fighting overhead, darting along the building as they climb into the air, is like watching two fighter jets. All the while, I
Need to follow Saber.
Yeah, I figured as much. I can't just watch and do nothing. The uneven footing prevents Saber from gaining ground on Ryder. The two clash in the air, rushing up to the rooftop. Oh, the rooftop! Ryder came flying down from the top of the building. Chances are Shinji is there. We have two possible ways to win our fight against Ryder. Either we defeat her directly, or we defeat her master. But whichever it is, it has to be before she deploys her noble phantasm. While Saber's fighting Ryder, there's only one thing I should be doing. Let's go deck Shinji. The two shadows climb upwards. They continue to distance themselves from the ground, gaining more and more altitude. Neither needs proper footing. They just kick their way up along the wall. As it happens, they clash countless times, all before they ever reach the top. Were anyone watching from the ground, they'd probably think that they were seeing a game of pinball, though I doubt they'd be able to follow the two with the naked eye. It's like a deadly circus act. The collisions are basically indiscernible, invisible to normal human beings. Saber had no desire to be a part of this crazy circus act. She may be a servant, but she can't fly through the sky. She might be able to run up along the building's wall, but that's it. This is no better than a free fall for her. She alternates between kicking off from the building before she loses momentum and slowing to let gravity take hold of her. It may be no exaggeration to say she's falling into the sky.
This is where this game is good, when it's actually describing combat with a backdrop like this.
Well, I assume these interludes are also not actually part of the original, but I'm not 100% certain. Because it seems like they're taken from the anime, but I don't know for a fact. I can't say for certain. Now that she's started...
I really don't want to check either to discern the authenticity.
To be fair, the old anime only had one adaptation for this route.
Now that she's started, she'll continue all the way to the rooftop. And in that entire journey, if her opponent hits her, she'll be hurled to the ground. But it seems the laws of gravity do not apply to the enemy. To the opponent, Saber has to defeat. She has boots of spider climbing. The streak of purple shoots across the side of the building in pursuit of Saber, while Saber focuses on reaching the roof. Gravity has no hold on Ryder. She leaps around effortlessly, moving in and from all directions, up, down, left, right, to strike at Saber. Her long hair trails out behind her like a comet tail, and she looks like a snake wrapping itself around a log. Saber's feet touch the wall. She leans sideways and kicks the wall, aiming for the edge of the building. Saber suddenly shoots out at a right angle to her previous trajectory. Not one of the attacks finds its mark. Ryder is simply no match for Saber's raw power. Saber shakes Ryder off with a single kick, then kicks upward once again when she reaches the building's side. She aims herself upward. If Ryder is like a serpent coiling around the building, Saber is like a bursting spark. But it looks like Ryder might have predicted her moves. The distance between them remains the same. Ryder continues along the side of the building, not letting Saber open any distance between them. She strikes every time Saber has to take a step. Saber fends off Ryder with her blade and jumps to put some space between them. Though she's able to fend off Ryder's coiling pursuit, there's only so much she can do in the air. Where before there had been no contest in their combat ability, they are now more evenly matched. Neither has an attack that can bring this to a close. No, Ryder is withholding her own deadliest attack. Every time Saber leaps at Ryder, Ryder fends off her attack, but never counterattacks. Ryder is only keeping Saber at bay as she makes her way to the rooftop.
Saber.
Sigh.
Do you not intend to fight, Ryder?
Saber curses at her cowardly enemy. To a knight like Saber, a fight like this is as good as an insult. Such a thing should involve both opponents giving their all in the clash. By that belief, Ryder's actions are disrespectful.
It appears you do not like heights, Saber.
Ryder's voice is cool. She's right, Saber is clearly not used to fighting in the air. This is probably a first for her, actually. Knights are meant to fight on solid ground. They're not supposed to cling to walls like her opponent.
Oh my god, it's the knight versus hornet.
Ha!
Shaw.
I think
He's
that.
still right.
Yep.
Don't want to do you any good here, but do not worry. I will give you your rest soon.
Ryder moves upwards, her manner inviting. She's set this whole thing up. Saber understands that, though. At the end of this circus, yes, Ryder's ideal positioning must be waiting up above. Ryder can't use her trump card so easily, which is why she's luring her prey to a place where there will be no interruptions, so they can settle this with their ultimate attack. As soon as she reaches the roof, she'll be in a difficult position. If Ryder's noble phantasm is exactly what Saber thinks it is, she won't have any defense against it. But there's no turning back now. We can't just ignore Ryder or her master. This isn't about defeating an enemy in the Holy Grail War. Saber must defeat Ryder here and now to protect her master. Because she has no other choice. This whole situation must be absurdly dumbfounding for her. She's probably thought more than once about not wanting to push her master to do anything crazy. And yet, the two continue gaining altitude. Their rapid clashes ring out across the building as the battle approaches its final destination.
Alright, time for me to clock out. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I had to make that joke real quick.
Shinji on the roof just sees a fucking dust cloud tumble over the edge. Damn. At least it'll only go up to the 40th floor. I rush up the stairs while I complain. I manage to enter the building from the back, but the elevator doesn't go all the way to the roof. I have to run up the remaining 10 flights of stairs. I climb the stairs as fast as I can. I'm not sure how long it's been since Saber and I split up. Probably less than 10 minutes, but that's too long. You never know how or when a battle will end. Even Saber is not perfect. She could make a mistake and get into trouble. So before that happens, if I can make Shinji use up his command spells, Ryder might stop fighting. The harder I run, the more my still healing body aches. Sprinting around the building, then up the stairs, has left me out of breath. But I don't slow down. No, I speed up. Something about this has me worried. I'm not sure why, but my chest hurts. It's not a physical pain. Something is warning me of danger ahead. Saber can't win. There's something on this rooftop that shouldn't be faced. I try to shake this feeling off and focus on climbing the stairs. The wind is strong. The moment I open the door, the city's nightscape fills my field of vision. Scorch marks pock the concrete. And at its center, at the heart of the burned, scarred rooftop, Saber is on her knees. Saber!
Hiro, why are you here?
Saber's shoulders heave with her labored breathing. The moment I rush to her, I notice something strange floating up above me. Or rather, the sheer overwhelming amount of magical energy forces me to notice. What? I look up towards the sky. Flapping wings. I hear flapping wings. Something, a paler and more blinding white than the light of the moon, hovers over me. Hell yeah. It is a legendary mystic I've only heard about in myth.
Motherfucking Uranus up in this bitch.
The moment she reaches the rooftop, Saber confronts her opponent's true form. Saber leans on her sword, exhausted, and looks up. The white light rushes toward her. Saber unleashes the wind that shrouds her sword, using it to create an invisible barrier. She goes flying backwards. Her attempt to block the onrushing Pegasus fails to even slow it down. The force of the impact knocks Saber back, slamming her brutally into the ground. There's no time to be lying down. Pegasus turns midair and resumes its glide without so much as pausing. She can't possibly brace herself. Her only option is to try to evade. Even if she manages that, the after effects of its passage will chip away at her defenses. If this keeps up, it will hit her eventually. The white light streaks down toward her. Pegasus sails far overhead and knocks Saber backwards before sweeping back into the skies. Saber can't possibly reach it. There are no walls she can kick off of, not up here. Even if she could, there's no way she could actually reach Pegasus. Despite her disadvantage, Saber waits for an opportunity to fight back. Pegasus it may be, but it's a living creature, so she should be able to still kill it if she can just get a chance. Her only opportunity for victory is if Ryder makes a mistake at the reins.
Is this a surprise? You're tougher. No,
I
no,
think
that's you.
Yeah, I think
That's you.
that's... Yeah.
This is a surprise. You are tougher than I expected.
Ryder's voice comes from high above. Saber grips her sword tightly as she looks up.
But is there any point to any of this? You have no chance of winning. If you're to disappear, I suggest you at least do it gracefully.
Ryder's voice is calm. Even so, I hear just the slightest bit of joy in it. That's Saber.
I expect you to have a phantasmal species. I did not expect you to have this, Ryder.
A phantasmal species. As the name suggests, it refers to creatures which exist within an illusion. Humanoids, like fairies and giants. Demonic creatures, like Oni and dragons. If they are considered mystics, that alone makes them superior to magecraft. It's...
Wow. Calling dragons demonic? Slander.
It's the law of
0 out of
nature.
10. Fuck this series for switching to state.
It's the law of nature for mystics to be destroyed by other, stronger mystics. In the same way, magecraft grows in power with knowledge, phantasmal species accumulate power from their longevity. Even if a human masters magecraft, the most they can accumulate is about 500 years worth of it. Take a species that lived since ancient times. There's just no contest between that and a mystic that's only 500 years old. But it's been a long, long time since humans and phantasmals existed in the same world. The longer a phantasmal has lived, the further it's distanced itself from this world. The only phantasmal species in the modern world are a scant few hundred years old. So, Saber expected the phantasmal rider has as her mount to only be a few hundred years old.
You must be truly wicked if you thought to bring something of the ancient gods here, Ryder.
Men.
Right.
Yes, I am different from you all. That is, I was merely an enemy for you, so now I control only the poor things you people cast out in the distant past.
I see. I knew there was something twisted about you, so you're a demonic spirit rather than a heroic spirit.
Curse me all you want. It doesn't matter. You won't be able to lay so much as a finger on my darling here.
The Pegasus rests its wings in the air. The giant arrows aimed straight at Saber's heart, ready to fire at a moment's notice. She glares at the creature and thinks. Pegasus itself is not a powerful phantasmal species. A typical Pegasus is just a phantasmal that can only match a demonic beast in power. Were that the case, it would be easy to defeat with Saber's invisible air alone. But it isn't the case. That Pegasus has existed since the Age of Gods and has long since reached the level of a phantasmal. The horse is nearing the level of the dragon race, considered to be the strongest of all phantasmals. At the very least, its defenses are probably already at the level of a dragon race. Since Pegasus possessed divine protection that exceeds even Saber's, whose magic resistance is unparalleled. The way it glides through the air, trailing massive amounts of magical energy, is like a castle wall bearing down on Saber. It can't be possible to avoid or repel something like that. But something else is odd here. Ryder simply summoned Pegasus, and it has no true name of its own. To Ryder, Pegasus is little more than, say, a favorite dagger. And that means she has yet to use her noble phantasm. Even in her dire predicament, the possibility of defeat never enters Saber's mind. Instead, she thinks her chance will come when Ryder really starts to get serious. Whatever Ryder's noble phantasm may be, it'll have no trouble destroying a building like this. She just needs to focus on defending herself, on staying alive. Then all she'll have to do is cut Ryder down as soon as an opportunity presents itself. Yes, if only her master hadn't shown up. Hi-ho! What? I look up towards the sky. Flapping wings. I hear flapping wings. Something, a paler and more blinding white than the light of the moon, hovers over me. It is a legendary mystic I've only heard about in myth. A Pegasus? The identity of Ryder's noble phantasm. Could that be what
Thank you, hero.
Could that be what scorched the rooftop and forced Saber to her knees? See that Ryder is, as her class name suggests, riding a horse, tearing across the sky. What the? I shift my focus from Ryder. I thought I heard something. Shinji, I know you're here. Come on out! Can't tell how strong Ryder is while she's on Pegasus. All I can tell is that white fiend has more magical energy in it than a few hundred mages could muster. No wonder the roof is a charred mess. That monster can destroy damn near anything around it just by running across it. If that thing charges from up in the sky, even Saber won't be able to avoid it. Quit hiding! I came here like you asked, so show yourself! It's a race against time. I need to defeat Shinji. If I defeat the Master, Ryder will disappear. I hear laughter. Shinji must be hiding somewhere. Shinji?
Do you see that, Emiya? This is the difference between my power and yours.
Only his voice echoes. I fight down my impatience and try to focus on the sound of his laughter. Damn, the wind's so strong. I can't tell where the laughter is coming from.
Sucks for you. This is what you get when you try to be all cool and act like it's all under control, dumbass. Now do you understand that you have to go for the kill when you have the chance?
Shinji. Don't rush. Let him talk. Let him talk all he wants. The more he talks, the better chance I have of finding him.
But I'm not like that. You and your servant are done for here and now, but it's not like we're total strangers, you know. I still owe you one from yesterday, so I'll be merciful and kill you quickly.
This is bad. Pegasus, still high up in the sky, tips its head towards Saber. The vortex of magical energy whirls faster, as if it knows no limit. If that thing comes at us at full speed, it'll blow the entire roof apart.
Don't worry, Amiya. You were a bit of a speed bump along the way, but I'll make sure those morons at school join you soon. And if you're still lonely after that, I'll send Sakura to join you too.
Why, you... Shinji!
Go, Ryder! Take the woman first. Don't leave a trace.
Saber! A white comet streaks towards us, and in that moment, a storm rages around me. Saber!
What?
For the first time, she forgets her enemy in battle. She is furious with her master for walking into this death trap, but she's also angry with herself for failing to anticipate him doing so. All those thoughts are cast aside now. What else can she do? Even now, in the midst of danger, she can see only concern for her well-being in his eyes.
Hero.
He's always been like this, actually. He may have understood that she was an exceptional knight. That's never how he saw her.
It appears playtime is over, Saber.
Ryder's giggling voice reaches her even now. Ryder touches Pegasus's neck with both of her hands, and the beast's wings beat harder.
My noble phantasm is powerful, but it is not suitable to be used on the ground. If I use it, it will draw attention. With other masters still around, I could not do so readily. But up here, there is no cause for worry. Did you understand that I brought you up here because it suited me?
Something begins to form in Ryder's hands. It seems insignificant, really. A glittering golden rope.
Is that your noble phantasm, Ryder?
Yes, distasteful though it is. My darling here is too kind, not fit for battle. So I need something like this to get them in the mood.
Pegasus lowers its head. This feral nature is not inborn within the creature itself, but coaxed from it by Ryder's touch.
Begone, Saber. Even if you survive, your master has no chance. So long as your master dies, you will follow him, no?
It is the inarguable truth. Ryder's noble phantasm will utterly destroy the roof. If she hurried, she might be able to carry Shiro away and escape, but Ryder won't stop at just destroying the rooftop. Her master is not strong enough to survive a collapsing building. Meaning, to protect her master, she will have to destroy her enemy, Pegasus and all. She doesn't have time to think about whether this is the right thing to do. Saber glances one final time at her master, still some distance from her. He's doing his best to fill his role simply by gritting his teeth and keeping back.
Oh, wind.
Nope. Other one.
Nope.
Saber.
Oh, wind.
The last of her hesitation fades. What is ahead no longer matters. All that matters is this moment, and in it she must be her master's blade and defeat the enemy they now face.
Oh, Ryder, get that woman first. Don't leave any trace of her.
I hear the jarring, grating shout. In that moment, Pegasus ascends higher and vanishes from sight. Pegasus flies up into the air. It's already lost its form. It rises up as if to shoot through the moon, then continues its arc by flapping its wings, powering itself down towards the ground. The blazing white comet streaks downward. It becomes an arrow of searing white light, but Ryder continues urging it on. There's only one target. It intends to annihilate the enemy entirely, and the isolated garden in the sky along with it.
Belero.
She speaks his name. If a noble phantasm is the miracle that is released by speaking its true name.
On! Fine.
It is divine lightning.
Bellerophon.
Clarifying, yeah, that's you.
A
Oh,
thunderous
Belero
flash.
on the Pegasus.
With Bellerophon and friends. Sorry.
Oh my god. There's no emotion in her eyes as she looks on.
You said nobody would see from this vantage, didn't you, Ryder?
The wind unfurls from her blade and becomes a storm.
I agree. There's no need to worry about destroying the ground from so high up.
The seal is broken. Layers of wind unfold from her blade. Her sword is finally visible. A storm rages before my eyes. The white light descends upon the rooftop. Saber, though she is the sole focus of that light, doesn't move. Saber? The raging wind, she's the source. No, not Saber herself, her sword. Huh? I can't believe what I'm seeing. The blade should be invisible, but there it is. Like unwrapping bandages, the wind slowly coils away from her blade. A golden sword?
Saber, yes. Of course it's a sword.
The wind rages on.
She uses an axe.
The multiple layers
No,
of
I'm
seals
smacking
parts
with my
away.
bow.
The bands of wind dissolve into air. She readies her now visible sword and turns back towards Pegasus as it dives towards her. Ryder approaches as brilliant flare of light. Bellerophon is now large enough to engulf the entire rooftop and is only picking up speed to destroy us, building and all. The bridle of chivalry lights up the rooftop. Time stops. In the face of inescapable destruction, my mind goes blank. But the light is not coming from the bridle of chivalry. The light churns and builds upon itself. The light of Ryder's mount is brilliant, but it can't hold a candle to the purity I see in this one. Saber is holding the ultimate sacred sword that has collected the light of the stars.
X! Caliber!
Discord did not like that.
Good. You don't have to hear that again.
Discord's just like absolutely not Mega Man.
Explosion!
I should have said.
Parted the fucking clouds.
A single line of brilliant light. It's a blade of light, shearing through everything it touches. The beam
Oh,
of
this is
light
hard to see.
destroys Ryder utterly as it cleaves through the clouds and disappears into the night sky. Most likely, if that sword had been used on the ground, it would have carved a trail of devastation through the city. Her sword is not unseeable. It simply does not reveal itself. It is the golden sword that captivates all who behold it, with a true name of a surpassing fame. Excalibur, the sword of promised victory. A sword that is said to have existed in England. A sword wielded by the king, who has become the very symbol of knighthood. The strongest of servants' noble phantasms, sealed by several bounded fields. That is Saber's proof of her place as a hero.
So,
Well, I didn't vote for her.
real quick, do you guys want to know who Ryder is?
I mean, we
Since
could probably check, since we got her noble phantasm. Nope, not yet.
And you won't learn until the third route, Heaven's Feel.
Ah.
You wanna know who it is? Well, what?
I don't care one way or the other personally, but
So, it is. One thing is that you remember that the Blood Fort said that, people were turning almost wax-like and their limbs were unable to bend?
mm.
Like they were being petrified. It is also said in Greek myth that when Perseus beheaded a certain
Mm.
entity, one half of that became a golden being, the other became Pegasus.
Oh, that's funny.
Say hi to Medusa.
That's actually really fun.
Ha! The fucking snake coiling up the building.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really fun.
And this is why we asked Min to do that specific voice.
Yep, this is
I've
why I
been
asked you to do
typecast
Vera.
once again.
I mean, I figured it was Greek mythology the second we saw Pegasus. I wasn't able to really pin down exactly who quite yet. But yeah, that tracks.
She has another skill that we also wouldn't see until Heaven's Feel called Mystic Eyes.
Oh,
Which-
that's why she wears the blindfold. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Alright. Fuck. Alright, fair enough. Silence falls over the rooftop. The wind has died down, and not so much as a breeze whispers across the rooftop. I stand, dazed in place. I can't approach Saber. I'm still too confused to act, or maybe I'm just captivated by her sword. My mind is racing, and I can't seem to think of much that makes sense. Why does she have that sword? That golden sword that belongs to a famous knightly king. Everyone knows who. As I try to figure out how she came to have something like that, I realize my mind is doing everything it can to deny the simplest of possible answers. I don't need to be making all these assumptions. That sword's always been hers. That's why her true name is so easy to figure out. The owner of that sacred sword can only have one name.
It's actually.
Arthur, King of the Britons.
Oh.
Saber remains motionless where she stands. I approach her, but my body won't listen. I've been told so many times that Saber is a heroic spirit, but now that I've seen for myself that she is indeed a great hero of the past, I hesitate to even get closer to her. I assume that's Shinji. Discord didn't like that either.
No.
I hear a shriek. Something is burning in the shadows. I turn to look. I see a burning book slowly dissolving into a pile of ash and...
It's burning. My command spells are burning.
I see Shinji cringing as he watches the book burn. Shinji. He must have realized how much trouble he's in now that Ryder has been defeated. Shinji turns and sprints towards the exit from the rooftop. Hey! He leaps through the door to the stairway. Wait, Shinji! I can't let him get away again. The moment I turn to pursue Shinji, just out of the corner of my eye, I see Saber collapse. My mind stops. Shinji is fleeing and Saber has fallen to the ground. We're helping Saber, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously.
we need those saber points.
Can't leave Saber alone. Ryder's gone, and the book that acted as Shinji's command spell has burned to ash. Shinji doesn't have a servant anymore, and he's lost his command spells. The contest is good as over. Saber is my priority now. Saber! I rush to her. She's not holding the golden sword anymore. It's disappeared, and now there's just Saber lying on the ground. Huh? Saber is in bad shape. Beads of sweat trickle down her brow, and her breath is shallow, labored. She looks like she got a fever. No way. Hey, Saber, what's going on? I call out to Saber nervously, but she doesn't respond. She's out cold. Saber? I touch her forehead. Ah, it's hot. I jerk my hand away. It's unnaturally hot. She's got to be running a fever of over 40 degrees.
Celsius.
Hey, Saber. Hey, pull yourself together. I call out to her, but her only response is shallow, anguished breathing. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what to do, but I can't just stand around. I'm gonna take you home. I'll deal with any complaints later. I lift Saber up. She's so light. I knew that, of course, but now she seems even lighter. No, more than that, she's warm. That means she's still alive. Saber's still the person I've known all this time. I'm pissed with myself for even hesitating. Damn, what's it matter if she's a hero? No matter who Saber is, she's here, and she's still warm. How much of an idiot was I for putting up with this wall between us before? We're going home quick. Just hold still, Saber.
Jumps off the roof.
Could you imagine? I start running, Saber in my arms. There's no sense of triumph from this victory. All I feel is Saber in my arms, barely breathing.
I just love the idea that Shiro makes it to the elevator at the same time as Shinji, and they're just standing there awkwardly, Shiro having Saber draped over his back, and they just sit there while the elevator music plays.
Alright, hang on, I'm just gonna put Saber down real quick. Get over here, you little shit! Just starts fucking wailing on him.
I'm with you.
Pokemon your Saber again.
Okay, no problem.
It's done. I'm having a sleep in a Japanese-style room. She's not waking up anytime soon, though. Not with the state she's in. Never mind, you're not being Saber.
Thanks for taking a look. I wouldn't have been able to treat Saber.
Well, I just took her armor off to make her more comfortable. There's really nothing to thank me for. Saber's not improving, so I didn't do much.
But I'm still glad Tosaka was here. The moment I arrived home carrying Saber, Tosaka understood what was going on. It's been an hour. She tried telling Saber what she was going to do, then took her armor off.
So what happened?
We nuked Ryder.
From orbit.
You went to go and find Shinji, and you came home with a wounded Saber. I know something happened. Care to explain?
It's very simple. We beat Valstrax at its own game.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah? Radon coming in? Fucking take this, bitch!
Blasphemous blade, motherfucker.
I don't know how to explain. Saber's knowable phantasm. I shouldn't disclose her true name. I can't decide on my own to reveal that. Ryder's been defeated. Shinji lost his command spells and dropped out, but Saber used her noble phantasm, then collapsed right after.
Saber's noble phantasm.
Is it Excalibur?
I do want the details, but I can let that go for now. Probably the least of your concerns at this point.
Why? What do you mean, the least of my concerns?
How was that unclear? You've got to have it figured out by now. That Saber's going to disappear.
What? She says it so calmly. Osaka just casually brings up the one thing I've been trying so hard to avoid. Disappear? You're saying Saber is going to disappear?
Yes, Saber's almost out of magical energy. I don't know what sort of noble phantasm she used, but it must have burned through an incredible amount of magic energy. Saber has used up most of the magic energy she had. She's in so much agony because she's fighting so hard to remain here. even as she's on the brink of disappearing from the lack of magical energy.
Say magical energy, take a shot challenge. You won't survive.
She's gonna disappear because she doesn't have magical energy? Drink. So you're saying that Saber is going to disappear even though she's not hurt?
Yes, running out of magical energy is a more serious problem than a servant just getting wounded.
Drink.
I don't know. It seemed pretty serious when we just obliterated Ryder.
There's another one as well. Drink.
Magical energy is how servants are able to
Yeah,
give
I
their
gotta get more
spirits
drink.
forms flesh. Without it, they will disappear. Typically, masters provide their servants with magical energy, sip, so that doesn't happen. But you can't do that. That means Saber can only fight with her own magical energy. Once she runs out, it's over.
I need another
You were
can of
told
Coke.
that from the start.
That is definitely what Saber said. She was fine before, and Saber said she could recover if she slept.
Only because she had an extraordinary amount of magical energy to begin with.
Oh my god, you would be dead in this one scene alone. Holy.
I know, right?
Still you, by the way,
Oh
Sai.
my God. And yes, there is still some magical energy left in Saber. She can probably recover enough magical energy to maintain her body without disappearing. Can we get a counter, please?
The fact that they can't just use the word mana because they're doing a literal translation.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be about it. Saber will need to fight as she is now. She absolutely cannot use her noble phantasm again. The next time she does, she will disappear.
She'll disappear if she uses her noble phantasm? Well, I wouldn't want Saber fighting like this at all. I don't ever want to see Saber on her knees in that kind of pain again.
Now, Stat, you only have two ways of getting Saber back to a normal state. Either the master replenishes their magical energy, or they have the servant collect magical energy themselves.
Servant collecting it themselves. I mean, killing innocent people like Ryder. It's impossible. Saber would never do that. She said herself that she'd never do such a thing.
Figured as much. If she had to involve innocent people, I'm sure Saber would choose to let herself disappear. And there's only one other option. If you don't want Saber to disappear, you'll need to provide her with magical energy.
If I could, I would have done that a long time ago. But I don't know how to give her magical energy. Can't do anything you can.
Probably not, and it's too late to teach you magecraft to share magical energy. You're really not suited to be a mage, so it would probably take you a year to learn. And even if you learned it, you wouldn't be able to use it. Well, a path should have been created between you and Saber during her summoning, so there might be a different way. But
Okay,
Here we
please
go.
tell me it's not the thing.
Yeah, I'm
listen,
pretty sure.
if you want to save Saber, you'll have to make her attack people and then have her eat their souls. Which I'm sure you know already.
That's the most realistic method, but it's...
I'm sure Saber would hate that. But if you just do nothing, Saber will disappear, and you'll become a target to other masters.
Saber's going to disappear. I can't even consider that. I still remember the warmth of her body when I was carrying her.
Then there's only one answer. Use a command spell, Emiya. That should at least let you avoid the worst case here.
What she's trying to say is, I need to order Saber to kill innocent people. I can't say anything. I resent what Tosaka is saying, but there's a part of me that has to admit it could be one of our options.
I'll let you decide. Saber's condition might settle down if she sleeps, but she's at her limit.
Tosaka leaves the living room. I can't even lift my head. All I can do is listen to the sound of her footsteps receding down the hall.
They're very
Tosaka,
loud and clanky.
Are you okay? Did you, like, trip over a pot or something?
Damn, who put this pot in the middle of the hallway?
I thought Fujine wasn't coming to the house anymore. Alright, well.
Alexander, you can't just sit in the middle of the room like that.
Okay, no, Min, you make that joke. Alexander the Great is a servant. He would absolutely do that shit. He's also genuinely a great character.
Alright. Do we want to push forward or do we want to wrap it here? Drag it? What the fuck do you mean, Dragon Slayer? What a chapter title.
To bring up is that the next quote day takes place over the course of 2 quote unquote days with the same amount of events as prior days. Roughly.
Interesting. My question still stands.
I'd be good to go forward like an event, but that's about it.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, like even if we do push on, I don't think we're gonna push on much further.
Altria. That's the name she was given when she celebrated her coming of age. It was wartime. It began with the collapse of an empire. An empire that had been meant to be eternal was slowly waiting to die amid invasions from all sides. In preparation for the many wars, the empire deprived an island nation of its military. That is how it began. Having lost the empire's protection, her nation had no choice but to become independent, and over time it broke up into smaller nations. The invasions came again and again. Internal conflicts between clans spiraled out of control. Then came a long period of war, which would later be known as the Dark Ages. It is during this difficult time that she was born, heir to the throne. A long, tumultuous period of war. The king believed in a mage's prophecy, and so eagerly awaited the birth of his worthy successor. But the child born to him was not the child he desired. His child wasn't male. Fated king or not, the child could not assume the throne unless they were a boy. Oh, hey, Fo. Hey, Fo. How you doing? We're doing one last thing in Fate for the night.
The last thing of Fate ever. Holy shit.
For the night.
We'll keep begging.
Well,
look.
It sounds like you're gonna have to stay at least another night.
Well,
no.
Look, we'll get to Steins Gate eventually, I promise. I promise
We
you, I
have
also want to do that.
Maybe.
We are
Hopefully.
Oh god, I hope not. I hope it's before the end of the year.
Just so you know, we're on day 11 of 15.
Yeah.
That is cool. Freaking, that's gonna take forever at this rate.
I mean, we've been managing about, like, a day per session, technically. On average.
Look,
we
it's
did
not
just
our
go
fault
through the
you went to a
entirety of day
convention
10.
and you got sick. That's
Yeah,
not our fault.
We just went through, like, the entirety of day 10. Day 11 is going to take more than one stream at our current rate, I imagine. Just because there's gonna be more fight scene stuff.
No, not with the stabs! No! Fuck! Alright. So the girl was entrusted to the king's retainer and was raised as a knight. The king was saddened, but the mage delighted. One's sex had nothing to do with one's worthiness to become king. More than that, the mage was convinced that the girl's absence from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof that she was the true king. You sick assassin on this? I kinda love assassin.
Code. It says something when I think so many characters in this game are great, except for the fucking protagonist.
Yeah. Yeah. So true, though. So she grew up under the care of a simple and wise old knight as his adopted child and successor. The old knight did not believe in the mage's prophecy. He simply raised her to be a knight and hoped for her to continue growing, because he felt something from her that reminded him very much of his own lord. But even without the knight's encouragement or intervention, the girl trained every day to become stronger than anyone else. If an ailing country, headed towards its own demise, can only be saved by a king, the girl had sworn to wield her sword for that reason, and that reason alone, without anyone ever needing to tell her to do so. And then the prophesied day arrived. Knights and lords from around the nation gathered in hopes of being chosen to be king. If this was to be a contest to determine the best possible king, all assumed the selection would be made in a mounted joust. Mouth sounds. Instead, all that waited at the sight of the selection was a naked blade thrust into a stone. On the hilt of the sword, a glittering golden inscription read, "Whoever pulleth this sword from this stone is the rightful king of England." Many knights took their turn trying to draw the sword from the stone, but none were able to draw the sword from the stone. So the knights decided to compete in a joust, as they had originally expected on arriving. The girl was not yet a knight, and so could not participate in the joust. She approached the stone of selection, which sat largely abandoned, and its appeal having long since faded, and reached for the sword's hilt. She did not hesitate.
Wait just a second there. Maybe you should think before you take hold of that.
She turned around, and before her stood the most feared mage in the nation. He gave his warning. Once she takes hold of that sword, she will cease to be human. She responded with only a nod. To be king is to no longer be human. She has been resolved to this from the moment she was born. To be king is to kill more than anyone, in protection of everyone. The young girl thought of this every night, and lay in bed shivering at the implications until morning. Not a day went by that she was not afraid, but in that moment she pledged that her days of fear were at an end. She drew the sword effortlessly from the stone, and bright light engulfed the whole of the site of selection. And in that instant, she ceased to be human. A king's sex does not matter. So long as they carry out the function of a king, none would care about the king's appearance, or even bother to pay attention to such a thing. And even if someone noticed the king was a woman, it would not matter, so long as she was a good king. The sword's magical energy must have halted her growth. While many knights found it eerie and feared her, most saw their lord's immortality as a divine gift. And so, the legendary, celebrated age of the king began. The new king, in battle, was seen as something of a god of war. The king always led from the front. No enemies could stand in her way. Altria, the god of battle. Hailed as a dragon incarnate, she knew no defeat. In 10 years, she fought 12 battles, and never lost once. In those days, her chief duty as king was on the battlefield. Not once did she turn back. Not once was she disgraced. She was raised to kingship and fulfilled her obligations without hesitation. Maybe that's why I had a vision of her. Her soul must still be on the battlefield. It's not yet dawn. She stands under the indigo sky and lets the wind whip at her as she stares off into the distance. The sky is high and the clouds slide by overhead. Out in the clear air, sword in hand, she gazes at the great army she's about to confront. That image of her won't leave me. It's burned into my mind now. She and her sword are one. The sword from the stone, which chose the king. The brilliance of the sword that determined her fate is also her brilliance. But I tilt my head in wonder at this dream. That sword isn't the one she holds. It's similar, but different. The sword she holds now isn't the one she used last night. But if that's the case, what happened to that incredible sword? When I wake from my dream, I find myself in my own room.
Also, I have to point out, fuck the localization team.
Hmm?
Because her name was meant to be Artoria.
Hmm.
As in, like, another name for King Arthur was Artorias.
Yeah,
But
from the hit game Dark Souls.
but they used the name Altria, going a more literal translation of the kanji.
Yeah, because L and R. Yeah.
Yeah, canonically, it's Artoria.
Canonically, it's Artoria. Fan base agrees it's Artoria. The official translators want to try to gaslight us into thinking it's Altria, but god fuck them.
Yep, that's entirely fair. I mean, I picked up on it, but yeah, that's very silly. I must have come back to my room last night, unable to make a decision, then fallen asleep while I was watching over Saber.
Fell asleep while playing this stupid game.
That was a dream? It was a strange dream. What I saw, I had no way of knowing any of that. And that wasn't the Saber I know. Is it even possible for me to dream of such a thing? But that sword was definitely different from the one Saber had. I rack my brain. Yeah, this is the more recent remake, and it doesn't have any of the H scenes from the original. So we are good. What it does have is the original opening from the anime, which we cannot play on stream. For different reasons. I rack my brain. Saber's identity had been unclear, and honestly, I can't get my head around who she really is. Saber is Saber. I can't change the way I act around her, and I don't think Saber would want that in any case.
Please change the way you act around her. Please!
But she looked incredible. She looked really cool with that sword last night. She looked good with the sword in my dreams, too. It'd be fair to say I was in awe. The sword last night and the sword from my dreams seem to have left one hell of an impression on me. I guess I've got a thing for swords. I thought Lancer's spear was beautiful when I saw it too, but my passion for swords is on a whole other level. I know, we were just talking about H scenes, and here we are talking about swords. It would appear I have a thing for swords.
Oh, that's gay.
God,
That's not really anything new.
I have things to bring up about this sentence once we're done with this route.
I draw in a deep breath and reach up, finding my forehead dripping with sweat. Sure is hot in here. I wipe the sweat from my forehead. It's winter, but my body feels flushed. Shut up! I don't know why, but it feels like my blood is getting hotter, and it's unsettling. I wonder why. Ever since I saw Saber's sword, What? Oh no!
It's okay. It's okay to be in awe upon seeing such a mighty sword.
Oh.
Look at it glisten!
No! Oh my god. My whole body has been hot for some reason. My left hand, the one with my command spells, feels like it's holding a hand warmer. It's the same sensation I felt when Tosaka made me swallow a jewel. Like there's something stirring in me, or making me want to run. I take a deep breath, trying to calm myself. Saber's probably still asleep.
Okay, I need to think about anything else but my love for swords. Goes back to traumatic backstory.
The game isn't helping. She still hasn't woken up, but it looks like she's stabilizing. Her breathing is even, and that pained look she had last night has smoothed over. Saber is sleeping peacefully. It's a morning like any other. Maybe if I let her sleep, Saber will recover. That way, I won't have to make her kill anyone. Then she could stay with me, just like she has been. How could I be so selfish? I slam my fist into the wall. My own weakness nauseates me. It's my fault Saber turned out this way. What the hell am I going to do? I stand up without another sound. I don't know when Saber is going to wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. Osaka's not up yet. Well, I'm not sure about that.
Sucker me so real.
She knows when she's being referred to.
Bless you.
The house is completely dead, aside from the sneezing, and the corridor feels deserted. It only feels like that because I'm so down. I can't decide what to do, so the whole world feels hazy, and I'm just wandering in that grayness. Huh? I hear something cutting through the air. Forgot how excessively wordy older. I know, right?
Yeah, good lord. Steins Gate better be half the length per sentence.
Hey, you can't get mad at me for Zero Escape anymore, alright? Not with this. Not compared to this.
Listen, I forgave you for that a while ago.
Yeah.
Look, Curb, the only one that I get mad at you for is the third one in the series. And you get mad at yourself for that one.
No, that's fair. I'm not a huge fan of Zero Time Dilemma either. I like it well enough. I do generally like it more than I dislike it, but it's definitely the worst in the series. There it is again. It's coming from the yard, but I know that sound. Well, I don't feel like making breakfast, so I'll go take a walk and check it out. Yeah, no, a lot of this comes down to, like, exposition dumping instead of actually just showing things happen in action, which is yeah.
Half of this is the author trying to establish the rules of his universe.
Mm-hmm. That's part of what I'm trying.
So it's War Boss.
Yeah. That's part of what I'm trying to do with Tony, is come up with ways that we can have things happen in the actual comic instead of having characters talk about it. It's just not as interesting if you don't actually show the things that are happening in the story.
Yeah.
If you're just talking about it or just going like, here's all of this happening in the character's mind, it's like, okay, but you can also just have them act in a way that shows what they're thinking. Yeah, it's a lot of that kind of stuff with writing.
By the way, I would like to ask after stream, if we can look at the servant info stuff.
I mean, we could probably do that now. We can probably start winding down, because we're at a pretty natural point where we'd want to pick up next time.
I'd say this is a good point for. I recommend saving in case.
I mean, I was going to, but yeah.
All right.
All right.
True name, Artoria Pendragon. There's a lot of this. Lancelot. His clashes with Morgan, his half-sister from a different father who tried to kill him many times. He's killed, by the way, by his own son, who is also a girl. Or by her own son, who is also a girl that is, said as a boy because fate. By the way, Bedivere is genuinely one of the dopest characters in the series. In the Grand Order games, Bedivere doesn't manage to go to the Lady of the Lake and tries to return the sword to King Arthur, but never finds him and keeps walking with Bedivere's arm turned into a prosthetic, or Excalibur turned into a prosthetic arm. And he's just a normal person that's on par with servants.
Remember, chat. Strange women residing in ponds distributing swords with no basis for a system of government.
Listen here, you.
Yeah.
God, I love that movie so much.
It's so good.
It's so dumb and it's so great.
It's so good. It only has a hitbox at the tip of the light. It is the ultimate slashing attack that cuts through everything along the faults that are formed by the light. It is... Excalibur is... Well... Let's just say people try to emulate Excalibur all the time because giant glowy sword that cuts through a mountain is just cool in general.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know why they have that in Japanese, but it's the sword of it's the sword of promised victory. That's what that translates to.
That's very weird that it's, just in Japanese for no reason.
Yep.
And then I think this is all just the same. Alright. Cool stuff. Alrighty. I think we'll probably wrap it there for tonight. We actually got through a whole day. And hopefully we'll get through another one next week. We'll try to start a little earlier if possible, but...
Please end my suffering.
We're gonna try and get through it.
We're working on it.
We're gonna try and get through the Fate route.
It's on our to-do list.
Hopefully
I want
we
to
will be
direct
done.
the next one so bad.
Hopefully we will be done by the end of October, if not November.
It's okay, Mitty. We'll have this done before Curb has Brothership finished.
That is so true, actually.
That is most likely accurate, especially with how much Silk Song is eating into my freaking time. Nonetheless, thank you all so very much for stopping by. Take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you in the next stream.
Later.